G'day and welcome back to the Shit Dad podcast, where we change you from lad to quintessential Aussie dad while sharing our fatherhood wins along the way. My name's Nick.
And I'm Dave.
And we thank you once again for taking time out of your busy week to share your fatherhood experiences and hear ours. We're here without Cam this week, and we're here in my backyard. Because
sitting on the backseat couches.
Yeah, correct. So we don't have pink eye like David did last week, but Cam's snowed under at work, and I have been in a car accident today. So yeah, we're just taking it easy this week, and we're sharing a few of our shit dad stories from the first 100 episodes. We hope you enjoy it. And we'll share a bit about the car crash later in the episode. But what do you reckon, Dave? You happy?
Made some crackers in there. So enjoying going back through the old archive now, because that's what we've got. And
we've sat here drinking Jamos for the last hour and really enjoyed putting this together. So we really hope you guys enjoy it too.
Oh, I actually don't care if you don't enjoy it. I've enjoyed these Jamos.
We've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed it tremendously. So we hope you guys enjoy it. Take it easy. It wasn't like super bad because it was only like a $50 bike, but Ollie, Mr. Six, I've said his name now, Ollie rode to school the other day for the first time ever, and buggered if I was like running or walking fast or doing any of that gear, so I rode the scooter, and when we got to school, he's like, you're gonna take my bike home, Dad? And I was like, guess so, righto. And because I'd ridden the scooter, I wasn't going to like carry both over my shoulders on the way home. So I've shafted his bike. His like $50 little Spider-Man bike, shafted it as far into the bush as I could get it, and his helmet and everything. And I was like, I'll go back in 20 minutes, and I'll go back in 20 minutes with the old car and pick it up. All good, no worries. I'll do it on the way to the shops. Anyway, gone to the shops. I was like, forgot his bike. So I had to leave the shops and go back and pick his bike up, so some little scummo didn't take it away. But yeah, that's my shit.
And it was still there.
Yeah, it was still there, so we were all good.
Hamish, have you got any shit dad stories?
Not of the week, and not that I don't have them, they're just not that interesting and irresponsible. But I think the worst one that I've had was very judgy.
No judgment here, mate.
Not from you guys, but I'll tell you the story. So my daughter was quite little. I mean, a few months old, 4 months old maybe. So she was old enough to sit up on her own. Is that 4 months? It feels so long. Around that. So she was old enough to sit up on her own. I had my son who was 2.5-ish, my daughter who was 4 months old, and my wife was doing mums and bubs classes in the park. I don't know if you guys have seen them. They're actually really cool, really handy when you've got one baby, because all the mums go down, it's in the pram, it's like let's lunge behind the pram and do other fitness while still having the baby. I think it's a really cool thing to do. Yeah. But when she had two, it was hard to juggle. So it was a Saturday, we were going to Vanuatu the next day. So I said, I'll look after the kids, no worries. So I was making my son a piece of toast, and the toaster, we have had a U-shaped kitchen, and I thought, I was holding my daughter, the last thing I wanted her to do was reach out and hit the hot toaster. So I thought, I'll just sit her on the counter behind me, and I'll just turn around to the other side of the U, if anyone can visualise that, to reach forward 2 steps to grab the toast out of the toaster. So I turned around, put her down, not realising she'd gripped onto my T-shirt, and I stepped forward really fast because I had to do it fast so that she didn't fall back on the bench or do anything, and I towed her off the bench, and I could feel the pull on my T-shirt, but too late. As I turned, I saw her go bang and hit nappy down on the floor, straight down on the floor from waist bench. Oh. And you can imagine as a
baby's
parent,
bounce.
I was like, and she had that look where she was about to cry because it was shock. And my son was on the couch, and I was like, oh gosh, what do I do? So I picked her up, and she just started crying. Then she vomited.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Ollie, quick, get me wipes. And then I called all the people thinking, what, she hit her head? And I called like the nurse hotline or whatever it was. And they said, no, did she hit her head? And I said, no, weirdly, she's 4 months. I'll barely sit up, but she landed smack on her bum and just stayed sitting up. And they're like, no, that should be fine.
Sounds like a good save.
And I was like, oh, that's fine. And then I rang someone else, the doctor maybe, and just said, what, second opinion? And they're like, call Triple O immediately. and if you have an issue, you need to get her to the hospital. So this was the judgy part. So I'm like, oh dear. And she's still crying, but she seemed okay. But I just thought, we're going to Vanuatu. The last thing I want is, I need to get a check. So I wanted to run her into the children's hospital. But to do that, I had to go down in front of 15 mums and wander in and say, I just dropped the baby on the kitchen floor.
Imagine all the eyes you would have got from the mums.
Daggers from every single one of them. They're all there with their babies, pushing the babies, doing the lunges. And I had to go, Lise, come here. And she was like, what? And I had to yell out, I've dropped Amelia on the floor.
You're that dad.
I can feel the daggers from here.
That was the worst. That was the worst I've ever done. Best intentions, but just not thought out properly. Silly. I should just put her on the floor or something. Anyway,
That's
me.
That's a shit dad moment, definitely. Really good.
Thanks.
Well, my moment I'll share happened a couple of days ago. We the family had something to go to, and I was like, yeah, good. Had the game plan with Jane. Okay, you do this, you do that. I've got this.
You love a good plan, eh?
I got it. You do that. Yeah, got it. Part of the team. I'm on board here. I'm going to get it. Everything's done. Boom, boom. Out the door we go. We're on time, driving out. All good. And then we get to our where we need to go to. Out in the shops and all that, and we're shopping. We're looking for a dress up for we've got a function this
the
weekend.
El Fiesta.
Fiesta, Mexican theme happening down this week at Thirsty Chiefs. So we're in the shop, and then
Shout out.
and then all of a sudden, I get this Mark. Look over, the eyes light up, and I look over to Jan. She starts pointing at Solomon. And I'm like, what? And oh my God, he's chopped a big heavy one here.
Oh, dang.
Yep. Earlier on that day, I said, we'll continue on with the toilet training. I think it's in his best development that, we do this.
You didn't take a backup nappy?
And then Jane's like, you got to go. And I said, okay. So I pick him up and I'm leading him out in front. I'm like, I felt like Moses parted the sea. As I left him walking through, people just passed. It was amazing. There's another hack. If you're ever in the morning, you need to go hold your dirty nappy up with your child and it'll just part.
Big brown lamp just dripping.
So then we get to the car, right? And I'm trying to hold him so I'm not squashing it. Because otherwise, if you hold, baby.
Oh, the poo, not the kid.
Oh, same. So I get to the car. Open the boot up, put him down, go and grab the nappies. No nappies. So then, okay, cool. Where's the wipes? Look, no wipes.
Oh, no.
No wipes, no nappies. And they go, I got this. So I quickly grab him.
Plan C.
Quickly grab him, shut the boot, run out over to the shops, and I go into the cafe and go, mate, do you have a toilet here? And he looks at me and goes, you got no mask, you can't come in.
Thanks again, Auntie Anna.
So I run to the car, grab the mask, come back in, and they go, can I use your toilet? He goes, only for patrons only. So then I'll go back to the car, and then it's like, okay, what do I do here? And Jane comes out and goes, what have you done? Yeah.
Fire hose.
Yeah, no nappy. No wipes. No good. And she goes, I thought you said you had it. And then I tried, okay, plan B, let's just throw him in. Let's throw him in the car seat. Let's go. And she goes, you're not putting him in the car seat with no nappy and the dirty bum. So then, luckily there was some smaller wipes that would be tucked in the car. So we just used that, cleaned them out. So then I put him back in his shorts. So he's sitting in there, and had to wind down the window. Jane's like, so you got this. You told me you got this.
I don't think we've ever had a shit dad story on this pod yet with so many exhales in pity,
So yeah, that was our day out.
That's tough because I can imagine as well getting flustered and
on all levels.
Yeah,
on all levels. And to finish it off, we drive from the shop to another mall, and then I park the car, and Jane's like, You almost crashed into that car. And I said, I don't care, I'm out. I picked Solomon up. We ran straight to the toilet, try and get some toilet, go to the store, try and get some wipes, try and get some new undies and nappies.
What a hectic dilemma.
I know.
Oh,
And then that's one of those situations where the wife goes, "Oh yeah, told you so."
yeah, I love a good told you so moment.
Oh, gosh.
That's one
I
of
can't
them.
live it down.
But yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Thanks, that's a good one. Gee whiz. Now, shit dad moment of the week. I got one approximately an hour and 45 minutes ago submitted from the big man himself, Big Papa Fitstopper's wife. So, Jane, thanks very much for the shout out to Mark. And Mark, I apologise, but we're going to have to air this one. So, Mark, they live at Virginia. Kids go to daycare on the peninsula. And they dropped them off in the morning, all good. Jane was at home at night time. Mark also came home at night time. Jane says, "Where's the kids?" Mark's face goes white, eyes go wide. Oh, no. Jane gets her mum voice on, jumps in the car, speeds out to the peninsula, grabs the kids, comes home. Moral of the story, Mark is still in the doghouse. Sorry, Mark, that's a shit dad story and we love it. No judgment here. Now, I had a shit dad story of my own this week. It actually happened today. Jumping on the trampoline with kids. We'll ignore the fact that the trampoline comes with a maximum 100 kilos weight limit on it, and I myself am approximately 99 kilos. So anything above that, including extra kids, is probably above weight limit. So I go very conservative on my jumps. I'm not usually a half-assed man. I usually go hard, but they were trying to get me to crack the egg, as it were, where they ball themselves up in the fetal position and you try and crack them open by jumping around them. Anyway, cracked the eggs. The two little ones decided to jump off. The big one stayed on, and I just was a little bit less conservative with this one, and I sent him to the moon. He was not happy. Scott, what do you got?
I got one that, so I don't usually do the whole ballet and stuff with my daughter because I'm at work.
And your dresses don't fit anymore?
Well, the tutus are a bit tight, but we try.
We tried.
But yeah, so being home with holidays and other things, so I was there, so she came to me and the wife was doing stuff too, and we got her ready. Got her out the door. I took her to ballet, dropped her off, swayed around, did the whole thing, parent thing, so my wife didn't have to for 1 week. Took her home. She walks in home, hasn't said a word to me at all this whole time.
What have I done?
Yeah, she walks in. My daughter goes straight up to my wife and goes, "Mum, you got to buy me a new leotard." She goes, "Why?" She goes, "This one doesn't fit." She goes, "Really?" She goes, "Why?" Yeah, she goes, "Oh, I've had a massive wedgie this whole time." My wife just looks at her and goes, "Turn around. Show me." She shows her. Wife looks straight at me and she goes, "You put it on backwards." You did. And I turn, there's no tag.
It's a mistake all of us would probably make, to be fair. I actually put my little girl's dress on backwards the other day. Had no idea. Mel got home at the end of the day and she's like, "You know that's on backwards, right?" And I'm like,
The amount of girl stuff now,
else?
the zip or the buttons has got the front or the back.
yeah, I know.
I just go, just do one.
My new answer to everything is I'm just a stupid dad.
It works.
It works. Works for me. It gets out of everything. So, yeah. I've been talking mine up to Cam for the last 15 to 20 hours. And
He said it's his best, so
this
bit
will
of
be
pressure.
it's up there with my best shit dad moments. I've got some crackers, but this one took the cake. So you know that place that we bought up in an earlier episode? I'm not going to name the name because, anyway, it's cheap to get in, but it's super expensive to eat there. So you don't come out with change from a hundy.
Yeah.
Anyway, took the kids there for a cracking day. It was really good. It was going so well. And then wife said to me, where's missed 2. I was like, oh, okay, I'll go have a look for her. None of us could find her. It was about 2 minutes, and I was like, it's an indoor play centre. Come on, like how far could she have gotten?
Yeah.
I've looked through every single nook and cranny of this joint, and then my mate came over with me, and we saw this little girl go up in the one of the areas, and we're like, oh yeah, that's her, that's sweet. So me and him just stood there chatting, and probably 5 minutes later, so it was a good chunk of chatting time. I've looked over to see if she was going to come out, and this little girl's walked out, and I've gone, that is the same fucking child that I said was my daughter. So everyone's just gone into meltdown. I'm like, like I think I properly yelled. And so I just I didn't go from fast walking. I went to running, running everywhere, because I thought this girl 5 minutes ago was my daughter. And anyway, she came out of the men's toilets with no pants on, like she'd gone and done a poo in the toilet, and just left. Without going into too much details, like she was just like, is someone going to come and wipe me, or
Just waiting patiently.
just waiting for a mate? Yeah. Shit all over me.
Jesus.
So that's my shit dad moment of the week.
That's hardly your fault, though, I reckon.
Oh, mate, like it was a joint effort, but at the same time, I said that little girl's my daughter, and it was not my daughter.
Yeah, little, easy to mistake.
And they little girl clothes look the same. Like it's all $2 from Kmart, you know.
And all impossible to get on and off too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I've got a second one as well. I've got a double up this week. I've got a shit mum moment, which me and the same fella were. They were trying to get a little group photo of all the kids because it was a birthday party, and Mr. 4, who's quite stubborn, we'll say, was having a bit of a punch on with his other little 4-year-old mate, and me and the dad were sitting there talking, and then we just look over and watch the punch on, because it's just like 2 4-year-olds, like they'll sort it out, it's all good. And then wife's got up and separated them, and then the other little one's gone away, and she said to our 4-year-old, she's gone, "You're pretty tough for someone who still sucks his thumb." And me and old mate were like, yes! Oh my God, burn of the century. She doesn't say boo usually, and then she's popped out with that. I was like, boom, that's my girl.
So proud.
So proud right now.
I guess we'll go to our guest. Chris, you got a good shit dad moment?
Well, I'm a bit devastated because I actually text this one into Nick hoping to just get it a run, and then all of a sudden here I am. So I guess I'll do it. I got 2.
A bit of context here. He texted me when I got home, like an hour after we recorded the last episode.
Yeah. He hasn't been sitting on it for weeks. He's not running my gear. I guess I got 2. I got one recent one and one sort of like as a bit of a classic. So my 1-year-old, he's crawling around. Bit of context, I've got a sand pit out the back that's got like a 300mm sleeper all the way around it to keep the sand in and whatever. But my boys are also into monster trucks. So just beside that, they've got like a dirt pit, like just dirt in it. They ride their monster trucks and whatever around, and they love it. And, Dad's doing the right thing. What a hero. He's got the 4 boys outside watching it. Mum can do her thing inside. And so watching the boys, and I'm having a coffee, and I've got this. I've got the 4 boys. It's all sweet. And sort of got a bit engrossed in my coffee. It's been raining a little bit recently, and next thing, like a scalded gazelle, my wife comes belting out from inside.
Scalded gazelle.
Past me, and I'm sort of like, what's going on? What's she seeing? And I look up and I just see 2 little legs like sticking up in the air over the edge of the 300mm sort of sleeper that's around the mud pit. She picks up my 1-year-old, and like for visual reference, I guess I've sent Nick the picture, and you can put it up if you like.
Oh yes, I've seen this.
Anyone who's had a wife,
it will be on the socials.
Go to like a beauty parlour and get like a face mask sort of thing. He's just got mud all over his face, and thankfully he must have closed his eyes when he's gone in, and his mouth, because now he thinks it's the funniest thing ever. My wife's picked him up and turned him around, and he is cacking himself laughing. But he's got just 2 bright little white eyes and 2 little buck teeth sort of sitting there, and the biggest grin ever, and the rest of his face is just mud. And I was supposed to be watching him.
Oh, I was on your watch.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a shit dad moment.
Geez, boys, this is top dad moment. I tell you, oh Jesus, golden! As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, shit, what did I just say? Yeah, look, mate, Isla, she loves that little play just before bed. She knows it's that time, and she took off one night on us. Ran into the back room, and light doesn't work in the back room at the moment. The fan lights shit itself. Anyway, she's in there. I've walked in. I'm like, Isla, where are you? Where are you? And next minute, she's just took off down, running past me, but she's run straight into my hand. And it was a good one. And I said to her, oh, crap, you've just run into my fist. And I'm like, oh, geez, that does not sound good. We're going to tell
She got a shiner?
No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't too bad. But I said to her, we're going to tell Mummy that you ran into Daddy's knuckle. Not Daddy's fist. Knuckle.
When you have to clue them up on like what you have to tell Mummy, that's when you know you're fucked up, hey?
Mate, and I was just like, and I just turned, and next minute, Tracy's in the next room anyway. She's just getting a few things ready for the next minute. Isla walks in there. Mummy, Daddy, I ran into Daddy's fist, knuckle.
She's corrected herself.
I'm like, this is a 2-year-old. I'm like, no, you just throw me under the bus. What are you doing?
What do you expect? You can't expect any less of a 2-year-old, hey?
Oh, mate,
sorry,
it was. Mate, it was golden. Like, as I said, she just ran straight past me, collected me, and the first thing I said, I just ran into my fist.
Love it.
Oh, mate, it was good. So. Top dad moment, boys. That's a shit dad moment of the week for me.
Love your work, Dave. Appreciate that, and we look forward to having you on the pod a little bit more in the future, mate.
Yeah, sounds good, boys. Very excited for it.
Right,
Cheers, mate. Catch ya.
Talk to you.
Enjoy. Catch ya.
See ya.
I've got one here. I'm going to take full responsibility of it. I didn't realise how loud I was speaking one afternoon, sitting out the front, and I was around the side with the tap. And I just said, just in there talking to Trace, and I said, oh, fucking sake, or fuck's sake, something like that. And it was not loud at all. Next minute, a little parrot comes around the corner. Fucking sake. And was holding the hose and couldn't get it on. So she used it into context and everything, and I was just like, oh, yep, all right, phone.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Phone straight out, had to write it down. So, yep, shit down over the week for me.
That's awesome, Dave. We were talking about that as well last week, how it's even more disappointing when they get it in context.
Yeah.
They get it right.
Oh, you're smart.
Holy, they are some absolute goat, greatest of all time shit dad stories. I love going back to the starter episodes and just seeing like the caliber of shit daddery that we had. It's not changed that much. What do you reckon?
No, it hasn't, but they were just so fresh. Do you know what I mean? Like,
remember we gave a fuck back then?
oh yeah, you were like, because we were like, shit, that is a fucking moment, and you're now it's just like,
and now we're like, oh well, that's just standard procedure, isn't it?
Isn't that just regular? That's just regular. These are now our shit dad moments back then, our regular moments. So, but mate, it was just so good hearing the range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The call-ins too. Like we had some bloody good cracker call-ins, eh?
Unbelievable. Hey, so that actually reminds me. Yeah. So we had some really good call-ins, but why don't we have them anymore? Like we've got quite a few, but we would love it if people get in touch with us at shitdadpod on Instagram or shitdadpod@gmail.com. Send in some voice recordings or just some text and we'll read them out. That's all good.
Yeah.
But we just love hearing your shit daddery. So, get involved.
Make it real, remember. We all make mistakes and that's what we hear about.
That's what we celebrate, isn't it? Yep, exactly. And obviously, if you haven't bought your Nakie Hammock yet, get yourself ready for summer because I've had one for about a year now and I can't get out of it. Every afternoon after the kids get home from school, I'm out in the Nakie and the kids are running around in the backyard. So jump on their website, nakie.com.au, and use the code DADPOD to get 10% off and free shipping.
How good is that? 10% free shipping. The shipping is what gets you.
Fuck, they're comfortable, man. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wait, with that code, you save like $30. It's a fair chunk.
That is good.
It's actually a fair chunk.
That's amazing. But also, while you're out there too, don't forget a couple of dad packs still available after our
Correct.
photos, I think.
Yep.
mate, we went pretty hard on them, and they went out the window, out the door. But $30 still, we're going to keep it going.
$30 gets you a shirt, a sticker, and a stubby cooler.
Yeah,
Bang.
and free, and we'll chuck in the shipping ourselves too. So
you know what?
On us.
If you buy a dad pack, I'll come and have a jammo with you.
Yeah, if you're local.
If you're a local.
But also, when we win the podcast awards for People's Choice, don't forget, get on and look at our show.
About that. Yeah,
get on, look at our show notes soon, and get on and vote for us.
Australian Podcast Awards.
And when we jump down in Sydney for the awards to accept it, you know, all of them.
All of the awards. Clean sweep.
If you're down there in New South Wales, come down, and you know, if not, you're up here in Brizzy. We'll just meet you somewhere for a jammo.
Fucking oath. Clean sweep of the awards, and we'll drink jammos all night. It'd be unreal.
It's amazing.
So jump on, what is it? The Australian Podcast Awards.
Yep. And then search for us.
I don't know if I've given enough fucks about it, but
I've told everyone that I possibly can.
I'm excited.
I'm literally about to go get every single person's
I've
email.
told more people about the Nakies, to be honest.
But they are very comfortable. I'm also just thinking about a trip down to Sydney.
Yeah,
away from the kids.
all right. Yeah, all right. So if you guys can just do us all a solid and vote for us so we can have a trip away for the weekend down to Sydney, that would be fantastic.
Oh, please do.
But also, like I said, if you have a good shit dad moment or just a shit dad story that you want to share with us, get in touch with us on the socials. That's shitdadpod@gmail.com is our email, and @shitdadpod is our Instagram. We're on that new thing. What is it? Switch or Stitch or some shit? I don't know. It's like the Instagram version of social media. I don't know.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
That's a cam thing.
That's a cam thing? All right, cool. And like we said, we're out. Yeah. I still like. You do not write letters. No one writes letters anymore.
No, that's
Come
true.
on, David.
I send texts.
Yeah. Carrier pigeons.
Yeah, I know a couple of people that have carrier pigeons, but anyway.
Awesome.
Mate, look, let's finish it up. You mentioned earlier about the crash this morning.
Yep.
How was everyone? How are you feeling?
A bit of real talk right now. We had a fender bender this morning, so we got tail-ended in a BT50. So I drove a ute. Drove a ute. It's been written off. I got tail-ended at road speed, so she was pretty quick, and it wrote my ute off. It was a little... what do you call them?
Was it a Swift?
Yeah, I think it was a little Susie, little Suzuki Swift. And, hit us up the back at about 60 k's an hour and rode us off. I think the most disappointing part is I had my boys in the car, and they were really scared. And I was talking to you before we jumped on the air, and I went into I can't decide if I went into more dad mode or firefighter mode, and it really disappointed me because listening back to the dash cam footage, it had audio on it as well. And granted, I did ask the boys if they were okay first. They were crying, and they were upset. I jumped out, and I'd yelled out. I was a little obscenity. Obscenity? Was that the word? I swore a bit. It wasn't gnarly.
I don't know.
Anyway, the boys were quite visibly upset, and I saw they were crying, and I asked if they were okay. They said yes, and instead of just sitting in the car and just like being with them and being present and making sure they were okay, I feel like I went into firefighter mode and ran, like I told the boys to stay real quick, to stay in the car. I'm going to go check on the other person. I ran over to the other car. As soon as I saw that they were okay and her child was okay, I've gone back to my own kids. And I don't know if I was disappointed or not. Yeah. I feel like I should have probably gone into dad mode a bit more.
Mate, I want to unpack this a little bit more on our next ep, a little bit, but I think you went into the mode of your boys were okay. They told you they were okay. And then you moved on and you did something that I guess people do, people freeze and then people fight, and you went into the mode of fight. You turned to your two most important things at the time, and they were your boys, and they told you we're fine. Yes, they were visibly it's scary, yeah, and I get it, and it's a scary fucking thing as an adult, let alone as a 6 and an 8, but they told you they were good.
Yeah.
And so you did the next thing and you checked on those who were. Yeah. I think mate, it's essentially you triaged what was going on. But I'd love to unpack it more. It's still fresh now, and once kind of things, the whiplash sets in, and those conversations from the boys kind of pick up a little bit more. I'll have to unpack it next week. But mate, I think in all, the fact that you, the boys, and everyone in the other car were all walked away from this without a scratch. You know what I mean? Like, yes, sore, but is an amazing thing, mate. So I get where you come from, but I don't think you've done anything wrong, mate. You did what you had to do.
No, kind words, mate. I appreciate that. And but I think I really would like to unpack that in a further episode, because I think you're right. If you are an emergency services worker, you see that from that side of things every time you go to a crash.
Of course you do.
And until you're on the side of it yourself of being in that crash, you don't really know what to do, because you're teetering between, do I fully prioritize my own family, which you should do, and I did, or do I just make sure that everything's okay and the whole scene's safe and everyone's okay? I think I don't know. I'm sort of like I was saying to you before the episode. Yeah. I'm really upset that I didn't I didn't say bugger everything else. Bugger the other person. I'm just going to sit in the car and in the middle of the intersection and just say, "Are you just sit with the boys for a good 2 minutes and just make sure they're okay." Yeah.
Yeah. Look, mate. As I said, I think this is probably a bigger one for us. But again,
no, it's good.
I think, mate, again too, hindsight's a beautiful thing.
Hindsight is fantastic, isn't it?
But, mate, in the moment, your boys were good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were fine. And they're fine now, which it makes things better. And do you know what makes things fantastic? Not fantastic, but Jamo, obviously. Oh. But do you know what makes things, it sort of makes you more comfortable? Bloody dash cam, mate. If you don't have, dude, if you don't have a dash cam on your car, I don't know what you're friggin' doing, because I'm dead set going out tomorrow and buying a dash cam on my other car.
Yeah.
Because without that, you don't have that 100%, I'm not at fault.
Yeah.
I know I was sitting at a set of traffic lights waiting to turn and it was red, but, without that dash cam footage, you are, what if, Yeah. So, fair play.
Yep. I get it, mate. Look, as I said, I'm glad everyone is all good.
Yep.
Especially the boys.
Yep.
Because we're here for the kids.
Yep.
Which is, is
from a fatherhood point of view, I feel like if you don't go straight to your kids, you're doing it wrong.
Of course. Yeah. And you did, mate. You turned, you checked.
100%.
They were happy. So, look, everyone, I think on that note, we're going to wrap it up here with our Cam. We hope he gets over that swamped out job that he's dealing with at the moment, and he looks after himself stress-wise.
Imagine picking work over the podcast, like proper getting paid, supporting your family work over the podcast.
Yeah, well, mate.
Unbelievable.
Jeez, it's horrible.
Absolutely kidding himself. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
We love you, mate.
Exactly. No, we appreciate it.
Look, everyone, everyone, I think, just needs to take it easy. We're coming into holiday mode, so parents, good luck. Get yourselves busy. Heaps of craft inside, heaps of outdoor stuff. The weather's absolutely cracking at the moment. So get outside, do all those things. But everyone, thanks again for listening to us. Hope you enjoy our recaps from our episodes, probably about 10 to 20 onwards of our favourite shit dad moments. Again, Nick and the boys, they're safe, they're happy, and they're healthy.
And guess what? We'll be back in your ears this time next week, and we cannot wait, because we are talking about sending your kids to school for the first time and the last time. So everyone can relate, and we can't wait to chat about it. And we'll hear from you again next week.
Take it easy, guys.
For the kids.
Celebrate the stay.